We are joined by Rick Grinnell, who obviously has been a long time member of this team here at the ACLJ and currently the head of the Kennedy Center, among many other things. And I saw last night, Rick, the tribute that you all gave and the moment of silence that you gave to Charlie and his family. It has been a hard show for a lot of us to get through. It's been a hard day for those of us who just simply somewhat shared a network with him, didn't know him well. I couldn't say really at all, but I know that's exactly the opposite for you. So I wanted to give you the opportunity, Rick, to start off however you would like with this moment that we're all going through.
Well, thanks, Logan. It's been a tough 24 hours for me. Charlie was a very close friend of mine, was an incredible champion of mine, and I of his. I was on the Turning Point board for many years, and I only did it because Charlie asked me. And I think, I know this sounds so selfish, but I'm stuck in this mode of this last 24 hours of just thinking about me personally and my relationship with my friend. It's really devastating. I have had moments where I just think, you know what, this is just not worth it. I gotta just retreat, go live a different life, and retreat from all of this. Why fight? So many other people have these great lives where they don't have to take all this crap. And it's a very, very real emotion for me and for others. I spoke to Charlie multiple times a week. We were on a text chain of just a few people that really cared about issues. And, for me, Logan, I got to tell you that Charlie Kirk was the epitome. He was the tip of the spear of telling people to come to the front if you disagree with me. I will make sure that everyone around is quieted. You are going to get your time to talk to me and tell me what you think, and I'm going to calmly respond. And we're going to have a healthy debate that's calm. And Charlie was the first one to tell his own side, stop yelling, don't shout this person down. And eventually on college campuses, people knew if you came to a Charlie Kirk rally, you knew you were going to hear from people that disagreed, and they were having a safe space, if you will. And to take him out, to take the guy out, it's hard for me to comprehend, because I just think this means the other side doesn't want dialogue. And then I have to be honest with you, I just left the Capitol, and I had a one-on-one meeting with Senator Mark Warner from Virginia, a Democrat. And I was able to share my heart with him and just say, I'm struggling. Charlie was my friend, and I feel like, the left is not allowing us to even have a dialogue. They want to cancel us. They want to produce violence. And we had a good conversation, and I'm hopeful that that's a step in the right direction. And I know I've got to find a way to fight, but in all honesty, I'm just taking a couple of days to grieve. I'm going to grieve my friend.
Yeah, absolutely, Rick. And
Rick, I think that's where a lot of people are, is looking back and saying, is it worth it that a 31-year-old is now has been assassinated, and his two young children and wife, his two young children will really not get to know him, and he won't get to have those experiences of, walking his daughter down the aisle. I mean, and again, we're never guaranteed time in this world by God, and we all know that. But I think there are plenty of people, they may not want to admit it as honestly as you did and as honestly as we might, that say that definitely everyone does a gut check and says.
We all had that conversation with our families
last night, saying, with what we're doing, you have to then put into context, what is it worth? And is it worth that your life may be cut short because of the values and the issues that you're fighting for? And I don't know that we can answer that today philosophically, because as you said, Rick, right now it's mourning, it's talking about Charlie Kirk, it's praying for his young family and all those who were affected so directly at Turning Point, his friends and family. But I think it also opens that discussion as well, just as he was engaging massive amounts of young people to enter a process which they felt like they couldn't have much of an influence on. And then they saw in the last election cycle, they could.
Yeah. I'm also struck with, Jordan, as you're speaking, is that I know it's worth it, but I think for me and for others, we think, have we given enough already, and should we just bow out? I think that is the reality of a lot of people who are on the front lines. We know it's worth it, and we know everybody has to give, and people need to step up. And if you're hearing us, you need to do your part. But at some point, people just think, okay, I've given enough. I've been in the fight. I've taken a lot of hits. Is it just now a time to back down? And I don't believe the answer is yes. But again, I'm just sharing with you, my friends, my very real emotion of me finding out the moment that Charlie was dead, completely breaking down, and having this moment while I'm in the front lines of politics.
Rick,
I'm just being honest.
I'll be honest. That's 100% the conversations that I had with my wife, that I'm sure all of us sitting on this panel had. And again, he wasn't someone that we were close with, and I wouldn't pretend that. So I knew for you it'd be different. I checked in with Will, our producer, this morning right here, and I said, hey, is Rick okay to come on still? Because obviously we'd love to hear from someone who really knew him, and someone, by the way, who a lot of words get thrown around about the guy, and again, I didn't know him, but he had a great relationship with you, a great relationship with a lot of people who may have people on the internet may have thought there's no chance that he had a relationship with, and clearly was a person who was dedicated to his beliefs and his faith, maybe even more so than we knew. But Rick, I can feel the emotion, and it's hard to not be overcome with it as well, and not to decide, have those discussions. I think that's okay. I put that last night, that it was okay to feel like not only are we in a broken world, but it's okay to feel broken as well right now.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I thought when I woke up this morning, I thought that I would feel a little bit differently, but I'm definitely fighting the emotions of anger and trying to put it in the right direction, all of that. I do have to say that meeting with Senator Warner, Democrat from Virginia today, I was very not looking forward to the meeting, especially because of my heavy heart and where my emotions might go. And it was a great meeting, and I left it thinking, this is a good moment. This is at least a step.
Well, Rick, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna encourage our listeners. There's a lot of people watching right now who maybe you've never seen us before, maybe you've never watched us before, but I know a lot of you wanted updates and you wanted to hear from people like Rick. Say a prayer for him. Not only say a prayer for obviously the Kirks and for everyone at Turning Point, but say a prayer for his close personal friends.